Imagine you're sitting across from someone. They're locked in on you. Steady eye contact, calm voice, zero hesitation, and they swear they didn't do it. But here's the truth. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how a trained CIA officer would know, in under 60 seconds, that they're lying through their teeth. No polygraph, no intimidation, no raised voices. Just psychology, precision, and a system built from decades of intelligence work. And before we go any further, you need to forget everything Hollywood taught you about liars. The look left myth, fake, sweaty palms, irrelevant. Liars can't make eye contact, they're completely wrong. Actual declassified manuals, peer-reviewed research, and thousands of real interrogations all agree. Those cliches don't catch liars, they catch amateurs. But the methods that do work, the ones used daily by CIA, FBI, and elite interrogators around the world, are shockingly simple. And once you learn them, you'll never see conversations the same way again. You'll start catching lies from friends, co-workers, dates, even politicians and news anchors, like someone slowed reality down for you. So here's what's coming. 6 battle-tested techniques, real case breakdowns, and one strategy so devastatingly effective it made a trained spy crack in 11 minutes flat. If you're ready to upgrade your perception forever, let's begin. Quick question. Right now, if I looked you dead in the eye and said, "I swear I did not eat the last slice of pizza in the fridge," could a trained CIA officer sitting across from me know I'm lying in under 60 seconds? Yes. Absolutely yes. And here's what might surprise you. It has nothing to do with sweating, fidgeting, eye direction, or any of the nonsense TV shows drilled into us. I used to fall for that too, walking around quoting, "Liars look up and to the right," like I was some kind of bargain bin Sherlock Holmes. Turns out I was parroting 1970s self-help junk the CIA quietly tossed in the shredder decades ago. So here's what we're doing today. For the next 30 minutes, I'm pulling back the curtain on the real playbook. The exact methods used by the CIA, FBI, and the sharpest interrogators on the planet. Stuff pulled straight from declassified manuals, backed by peer-reviewed research, and proven in the field on spies, terrorists, con artists, and CEOs who thought they couldn't be cracked. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly how to spot lies on job interviews, first dates, when your roommate says, "I'll Venmo you tomorrow, I swear," and even when a news anchor's voice sounds just a little too polished. And if you stick around for technique number 4, you're gonna learn the single question that made a trained intelligence officer fold like a lawn chair and dump the truth in 11 minutes flat. All right, before we get into the tools that actually work, there's one thing we need to clear up first. We've got to burn 5 massive lie detection myths to the ground so you stop embarrassing yourself in real life. Myth number 1. If someone looks up and to the left, they're lying. Or up and to the right means truth. This is the famous NLP eye-accessing cues. Sounds scientific until you find out it was invented in the 1970s by 2 guys, Bandler and Grinder, who basically guessed, wrote a book, and called it a day. No studies, no data, no science. Real researchers later tested it. A 2012 meta-analysis reviewing over 50 studies found the connection between eye direction and lying is, ready? 0. Literally 0. CIA doesn't use it, FBI doesn't use it, MI6 doesn't use it. If you still do, congrats. You're running 1970s hippie pseudoscience. Big red X, cut to my face palming big red X. Cut to me. Face palming big red X, cut to my face palming. Myth number 2, liars touch their nose or cover their mouth. This one comes straight from Saturday morning cartoons. Pinocchio's nose grows, therefore liars touch their nose. Great logic, reality, a 2015 AP. A study analyzing thousands of hours of real interviews found zero statistical link between face touching and lying. People touch their face when they're nervous, or bored, or concentrating, or because their nose just freaking itches. Myth number 3. Fidgeting means they're lying. Wrong. Fidgeting tells you one thing. They're uncomfortable. Could be they're lying, or the room is hot, or they hate the person questioning them, or they just slammed 3 espressos. Paul Ekman, the godfather of lie detection research, says movement reveals emotion, not truth. Myth number 4. Liars sweat or get dry mouth. Again, stress, not deception. Truth tellers also panic when they feel accused. That's why polygraphs, which measure sweat and heart rate, are only about 70% accurate on a good day, and even the FBI openly warns not to rely on them. Real interrogators don't chase sweat. Myth number 5. Liars avoid eye contact. The biggest myth of all. Research shows skilled liars make more eye contact because they're consciously trying to look honest. Meanwhile, genuine people look away constantly, to think, to remember, or because they're shy, embarrassed, or overwhelmed. All right. Now that we've dumped all the Hollywood nonsense in the incinerator, here's the single concept that separates normal people, who are terrible at detecting lies, from the pros, who almost never miss. Most people? They get lied to and fail to spot it 54% of the time. That's literally worse than flipping a coin. Even cops, judges, psychologists, people who think they're elite, studies show they hover around 55 to 60%. Basically fancy guesswork. But trained CIA, FBI, and Secret Service interrogators, when they're dialed in, they're hitting 80 to 90% accuracy, sometimes higher. What's the difference? One word: baseline. A baseline is simply a snapshot of how you behave when you're relaxed and telling the truth. How fast you talk, how your hands move, your resting blink rate, your filler words, like, you know, how long you pause before answering something easy. Everything. Without a baseline, every twitch or weird pause could mean anything. With a baseline, the moment you step outside your normal, it lights up like a Christmas tree. And here's the part most people never notice. The pros start building your baseline the second they meet you. Straight out of the declassified 2012 CIA Human Resource Exploitation Training Manual, page 37 if you want to nerd out. The first few minutes of an interview are never interrogation. They're acting like your new best friend. They'll ask harmless, softball questions. Where'd you grow up? What did you have for breakfast? Traffic okay getting here? Seen any good movies lately? You think you're chatting, but they're mapping you like a machine. You talk at 140 words per minute. Noted. You gesture with your right hand when you're excited. Logged. You blink about 18 times a minute. Perfect. You lean forward when interested. Added to baseline. 3 minutes. That's all a trained officer needs to capture your entire truth profile. Then comes the switch, the moment they ask the real question. And suddenly, your blink rate doubles. Your voice tightens. You lean back. Your answers shrink. Boom. Deviations everywhere. They know something's wrong before you even finish the sentence. No baseline. All they'd see is nervous person. With baseline, they see this person was calm talking about breakfast, but the second I mention the document leak, they unravel. That's why those opening minutes of small talk are not small talk. They're the foundation, the calibration, the entire operating system. Lock this concept in, and you're already better at detecting lies than 99% of the population. And the crazy part, we haven't even hit the fun stuff yet. Next up, the 6 CIA-grade techniques that'll make you feel like you've got X-ray vision into people's minds. Let's roll. Here we go. The 6 techniques that actually work. These come straight out of CIA, FBI, MI6, and Israeli intelligence training programs, plus the science that backs them. Master even 3 of these, and you'll be in the top 0.1% of humans at detecting deception. Technique 1, cognitive load. Overload. Truth-tellers retrieve memories. Liars construct them. A real memory is like reaching into a filing cabinet. It's there whether you like it or not. A lie is built in real time, while the brain desperately tries not to contradict itself. That's huge mental strain. The science. The University of Portsmouth ran dozens of studies showing that when you increase cognitive load, liars slow down, break rhythm, and spill these signals all over the place. Truth-tellers barely feel it. 2 brutally effective ways to crank cognitive load. 1. Make them tell the story backwards. Start from when you left the bar and walk me backwards to when you arrived. Real memories flow forward naturally. Scripts do not. Liars trip, hesitate, and scramble to rebuild the story in reverse. 2. Attack with detail. What color was the Uber driver's shirt? How many steps from the car to the door? Which hand did you open the door with? Honest people shrug, guess, admit they don't remember. Liars either invent flawless details, too perfect equals giant red flag, or freeze up because they didn't prep that part of the script. Real case. In 2013, British detectives hit a murder suspect with the reverse order technique. His alibi collapsed in 38 seconds, and he confessed on the spot. Use this tomorrow when your roommate says, "I swear, I was only at Sarah's for an hour." Technique 2, cluster analysis. Never trust a single cue. Paul Ekman and Maureen O'Sullivan tested 15,000 people. Only about 50 humans on Earth, that's 0.0005%, can spot deception from a single cue. Everyone else, including CIA officers, relies on clusters. The rule is simple. 1 cue equals maybe. 3 cues at the same moment equals deception. This is the cluster new CIA officers drill on day 1. 1. Timing mismatch. Verbal and non-verbal signals don't sync. The yes comes a split second late. The smile doesn't match the words. 2. Sudden drop-in-hand illustrators. Their hands were talking a moment ago. Now they go rigid and die. 3. Anchor point movement. Feet shift. Hips scoot. They subtly reposition like they want to flee. Catch all 3 within a 3 to 5 second window of the critical question. Congrats, you're sitting on a 90% plus accuracy rate. 1 cue is worthless. 3 cues is a flare gun. Technique 3, the guilt presumption. If you want to see liars melt, stop giving them the escape hatch of a yes or no. Pros never ask questions that allow denial. They assume the guilty act already happened, and then watch the liar's brain glitch trying to undo it. Instead of, "Did you talk to Alex yesterday?" ask, "When was the last time you talked to Alex?" Instead of, "Did you take the money?" Ask, how did you move the money so it wouldn't get flagged? A truth teller corrects instantly and naturally. A liar either overcorrects, undercorrects, panics, or accidentally drops details they shouldn't know. Declassified example. When Abu Zubaydah, Al-Qaeda's number 3, was captured in 2002, interrogators walked in and casually opened with, "So when you were planning the next attack after 9/11?" That one sentence detonated his entire defense. He immediately tried to correct the interrogator, using information he shouldn't have had unless he was involved. A single presumption shattered his facade. Your everyday version. Someone swears they didn't eat your leftovers. You hit them with, "Okay, but how much hot sauce did you put on it this time?" Watch their eyes go wide, their brain buffer, their sentence collapse halfway through. Liars don't prep for guilt-based questions. That's why this technique punches holes straight through their story before they even know what's happening. Technique 4. Strategic silence plus minimal encouragers. If you want to watch a liar implode in real time, weaponize the one thing humans can't stand: silence. Most people panic when there's even a tiny pause in conversation. Liars can barely survive it. A 2014 University of Liverpool study found that just 4 seconds of silence after someone finishes speaking increases deceptive leakage by over 400%. That's why CIA and FBI interrogators use this move constantly. Here's the trick. After they finish talking, you do absolutely nothing. No okay, no nod, no facial reaction. Just calm, neutral eye contact. And then you wait. The silence eats at them like acid. Liars rush to fill the void, and in that scramble, they over-explain, contradict themselves, or spill the exact detail they were trying to hide. Then you add the gasoline, minimal encouragers. Things so small they technically say nothing, but psychologically force the person to keep going. Go on. Yes? And then? A slow, slight head nod. These come straight from Army Field Manual 2-22.3, page 112, literally labeled minimal encouragers because they give zero new information while making the subject feel compelled to continue. I've seen people confess to cheating, stealing, lying, not because I pressured them, but because I stayed silent for 7 seconds and then softly said, "Okay, and?" Silence is free, silence is terrifying, and silence makes liars unravel faster than any question you could ask. Technique 5, the unexpected question. Every liar's story depends on one thing: predictability. They rehearse the questions they expect and pre-build the answers they plan to deliver. Throw one curveball, one question they never saw coming, and the entire mask slips. Best real-world example. Philip Houston, CIA legend, co-author of Spy the Lie. Houston was interviewing a corporate executive suspected of selling trade secrets. Everyone expected the predictable opening. Did you do it? But Houston doesn't play checkers. He leans forward and drops this casual little bomb. "So, what do you think should happen to the person who's been selling our secrets to the competitor?" The executive goes pale. The script in his head evaporates, and he blurts out, "I think he should be given a second chance." Game over. 11 minutes later, he's signing a full confession, all triggered by one question he never prepared for. Your everyday version. Partner acting weird about their phone? Don't ask, "Are you talking to someone else?" They've rehearsed that denial 100 times. Ask, "On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with us right now?" That's an emotional landmine. No script, no prepared speech. Just raw truth spilling out before their brain can hide it. Unexpected questions slice straight through rehearsed lies. That's why intelligence officers use them like scalpels. Technique 6. Verbal versus non-verbal timing disconnects. If you want the closest thing science has to a guaranteed tell, this is it. Dr. Edward Geiselman at UCLA reviewed thousands of hours of interviews and interrogation footage. The strongest single predictor of deception wasn't sweating, or fidgeting, or eye contact. It was timing. Here's the rule. Truth equals words and body fire at the exact same millisecond. Lie equals the body leaks first, the words try to patch it. When someone is honest, the verbal and non-verbal signals are synchronized. Perfect, instant, automatic. But when someone lies, the sequence breaks. The shrug happens, then the denial. The head shake comes, after the yes. The facial leak appears, before the statement. A half-second delay might as well be a siren. 3 microexpressions you actually need. Forget the encyclopedias of Ekman's 10,000+ expressions. These are the only 3 that matter in real deception spotting. Contempt, one-sided mouth pull. They feel morally or intellectually superior about the lie. Duping delight. Tiny smirk they try to hide. They're enjoying the fact they think they're fooling you. Fear brow. Eyebrows up plus tense lower lids. They're terrified they're about to be exposed. But again, timing is the kill shot. If they say, I love it, but their shoulders shrug a split second later. The shrug is the truth. The words are the cover story. Once you start catching these timing disconnects, you can't unsee them. It's like seeing the glitch in the Matrix. Put all 6 techniques together, and you're basically carrying around a portable truth serum. Next up, I'm breaking down real interrogation footage, second by second, so you can watch every one of these principles detonate in real time. You are not ready for how obvious it becomes once you know what to look for. All right, let's put everything we just learned into real time. Because what you're about to see is how fast a human being's entire behavioral system can shatter the moment stress, memory pressure, and emotional conflict collide. This is Chris, interviewed in 2013 after a violent altercation with his roommate. And for the first 30 seconds, he is a textbook example of what psychologists call a clean baseline. Freeze the frame and you'd see it. Relaxed torso big, animated hand gestures fast. Smooth speech, quick smiles, leaning forward steady. Easy eye contact. This is a brain running on normal cognitive load. Nothing hidden, nothing forced. And then the detective asks one simple question. Tell me about the argument you had last night. And instantly, the whole pattern fractures. Not because of a trick, not because of guilt, but because stress hits the nervous system like a truck. Watch how fast the cluster lands. 1, instant motor shutdown. Those animated hands, gone. They drop into his lap and freeze like someone hit a kill switch. Why? Because when the brain suddenly needs more processing power, it steals it from movement. This isn't acting guilty, it's overload. 2, cognitive gear grind. He starts telling the story forward. The detective immediately redirects. Actually, start from when you left the pub and go backwards. This disrupts memory recall. Hard. Chris stumbles. I can't really... His voice thins. His rhythm collapses. You're watching mental strain in real time. 3, the silence gap. Then, 6 full seconds of nothing. No nodding, no okay, no movement, just silence. And silence is a psychological spotlight. Most people crumble under it. Chris feels it instantly. I mean, maybe I was there, but I wasn't. That spill isn't a confession. its pressure escaping faster than he can regulate it. 4. The assumption shock. The detective continues as if the event is already established. So when you grab the knife from the kitchen drawer, this isn't manipulation. It's a stress probe. How does someone react when the narrative suddenly doesn't match their own? Chris doesn't correct anything. He just starts breathing through his mouth, shallow, rapid. Then a tiny one-sided smirk flashes, easily mistaken for arrogance, but in psychology, often a stress tick. 5. The moral curveball. Then the interviewer fires a values question. What do you think should happen to someone who hurts their friend? This yanks him out of storytelling and into self-judgment. Chris says, they probably just snapped. It's not that bad. And then comes the micro moment, a barely there shoulder shrug, half a second after the words. When someone's body and voice fall out of sync like that under stress, psychologists don't call it a tell. They call it a neurological disconnect. All of this happens in 47 seconds. 47. Not because someone broke him, not because of cop show interrogation magic, but because the human mind reacts visibly and brutally when stress, memory, load, emotional conflict hit at the same exact moment. 8 minutes later, he gave a full account. This is what stacked stress indicators look like. No Hollywood drama, no acting. Just pure behavioral science firing off faster than most people can even see. Use this tomorrow. Cheat sheet. All right, let's bring this down from the interrogation room to your everyday life. Here are the exact moments you can use these techniques tomorrow and watch the truth surface in real time. Job interviews. When you're sitting across from a candidate, don't ask the same predictable questions they've rehearsed for a week. Hit them with cognitive load. Say this. Walk me backwards through your last major project. Start at the final step and go in reverse. Then, stop talking. Watch the shift, the hesitation, the sudden perfect memory, or the collapse into rambling. The ones who freeze or over-explain, they're usually decorating their resume, dating forget the cliché questions. Those only get you polished answers. Don't ask, have you ever cheated? Ask, when was the last time you felt you had to hide something from someone you were seeing? That's presumption plus curveball. It pulls them straight out of their script and into honesty territory. You'll learn more in 30 seconds than most couples learn in 30 dates. Friends and family. Your buddy hits you with, can't make it, I'm sick. You answer, oh man, what exactly does your throat feel like right now? And then you shut your mouth, no nodding, no mm-hms, just stillness. Watch the scramble begin. Either you get a hyper-detailed medical drama or absolutely nothing. Either way, you get the truth. So screenshot this, save it, print it, tattoo it on your arm if that's your vibe. Because now you're walking around with the same psychological toolkit used by intelligence officers, interrogators, and elite interviewers all over the world. This isn't mind reading. It's just understanding human behavior at a level almost nobody else sees. Drop a comment right now. Which one of these 6 are you trying first? And if you want the full PDF plus the exact wording checklist the FBI gives new agents, it's waiting in the description. Smash that like button if you're never getting lied to again. Subscribe, turn the bell on, and I'll see you in the next one.